wisdom of his choice and will faithfully lead it. Congratulations, Bob. And in closing, I may charge all of you with the tremendous responsibility of administering unselfishly to the goals of this nonprofit corporation, whose real assets are not wholly determined in money, but in the dreams and the individual goals found in the souls of many of the youth that we serve by this organization. May you always be found doing the right and progressive things for this corporation. Thank you.
As far as
leave it.
Yeah, I'm following you.
Great.
I guess first of all, let me just say I'm Bob Selman. I am a club kid. This is something I very deeply believe in. I was helped along the way by my neighborhood boys club in my hometown of New Bedford, Massachusetts, more years ago than I'd care to recount, actually. So I'll get away from that. And I am humbled by the opportunity to serve.
But you know, today, each of you, we've got board members, investors, staff, volunteers, we've even got some parents here. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring everyone together under a common vision that Jerry and Bob both mentioned. And we've really worked hard to unite our communities. Each four of our parishes are represented here today. And to me, that's progress, that we're moving forward, we're coming together, we're uniting, and we're working together. We've already had 2 check presentations this year in Opelousas. We got great news coverage from the Walmart check presentation, $53,000. We also had a check presentation at Super One Foods. This is for healthy eating programs, year-round. Lunch during the summer, snacks during after school, but again, new experiences, new opportunities for our club members. We just received word on a new Cox Technology Center for one of our clubs this year. We're going to have a greater focus on technology. We have started plans for this year's duck race right around the corner, everybody's favorite event. I know we've got Gulf Coast Bank ready. We've got Moss Motors on board again, and we've got Reds on board again. And I know Dale's ready. You ready, Dale? All right. So we've got a new partnership with Koshan Restaurant this year. So the duck kickoff is going to be February the 19th. So please mark that at Koshan's for all of the duck race sponsors. A lot of times people ask, you know, what is your mission? What's your vision? How do you know your programs work? For me, it's very simple. I remember the birth of my children. I remember, I'm sure you did with your children, and the expectations that we have for our own children. And to me, that's all we're trying to do at the Boys and Girls Clubs. Through our facilities, our programs, and our staff, we're trying to give our kids world-class experiences just like we want to give our own kids. It's not good enough for our own kids just to have a safe haven, home as a safe haven. We want the best for our own kids, and that's what we're trying to translate to our club members.
But I'm going to try to do this in 5 minutes. I've been asked to talk about results. And I guess they had in mind when he asked me to do this is, does Boys and Girls Club work? Let me say it like this. About 17 years ago, a woman came to Boys and Girls Club. She said, Mr. Harold, here's my daughter. I want her to come back home the same way I brought her to you. And I said, Mr. Harold, reporting for duty. I took that daughter. She was bored to death. Did not want to be at Boys and Girls Club. And she stated so. By the end of the day, she had met so many friends and had so many phone numbers that her mom had to make sure that every day she came to Boys and Girls Club.
When a mom could not bring her, Boys and Girls Club at that time had a card that the city bus would allow them to use that card to come to the club. When she couldn't come to the club, she was about 8 years old, she would get on the bus with that city card to come to Boys and Girls Club. That little girl sits in this room. That little girl is now the unit director at the Jackie Boys and Girls Club. So does Boys and Girls Club work? Let me tell you how I know it works. In 1999, at a steak and burger dinner, she had never met her father before. She sat down at the South Bell seat at that time because they had a table. She sat across from a man she had never seen before. She went back home and said, "Mom, I met a man who has the same name my father had. But I was too scared to ask, was he my father? Never seen him before, he'd never seen her." She go back home and tell her mother the story, and her mother says, "Baby, that was your father." It was not until the next year that she actually met her father. And that was through Boys and Girls Club. Now, let me tell you what really makes this young lady special. She did her first of almost everything at Boys and Girls Club. When she first learned how to drive, she actually could not back up her car. Listen to me. She would come to the club every day, still driving to the club, and we actually had to back up the car for her in order for her to leave and go home. Listen, I would tell the kids, we all be outside playing. She finally learned how to back up. Get out the way, get out the way. Because I was worried about the safety of our kids. She graduated from UL with a Bachelor of Science degree. I would like her to stand so you can see her. Ebony, will you stand? So do Boys and Girls Club work? 1,000 times yes.